Welcome. Today, we're unpacking the financial reports and KPIs that restaurant owners should actually be monitoring if they want to protect profit, improve cash flow, and make faster decisions. Restaurants are exciting, but financially, they are unforgiving. A small change in food prices, a few overstaffed shifts, a discount that gets overused, or a delay in cash collection can turn a good week into a loss. We're going to walk through a comprehensive look at why most restaurants are flying blind and how a disciplined approach to financial reporting can transform chaos into controlled, sustainable growth. The big idea is this: restaurant reporting is not paperwork for the accountant. It is the operating system for the entire business. We'll move from core reports to daily and weekly metrics to technology and action playbooks. And with that foundation set, let's start with the urgent question. Why does financial visibility matter so much right now? Here's the hook. Restaurant owners don't fail because they lack hustle. They fail because the numbers often arrive after the damage is already done. In 2026, restaurants still operate in a brutally low-margin, high-variability environment. Many operators only net a fragile 3 to 5% on every dollar of sales. Throw in delivery channel fees consuming 15 to 30% of order value, food inflation, wage pressure, and shifting guest behavior, and it becomes clear. Tiny swings in pricing, portions, staffing, or purchasing can erase profitability in the blink of an eye. Monthly bookkeeping alone is simply too slow. Waste, theft, overstaffing, vendor price increases, and cash shortages can build and compound inside a single week. The critical question becomes, which reports and KPIs give owners enough visibility to act before profit disappears? Now that we understand why speed matters, let's look at where traditional approaches fall dangerously short. The gap is simple but deadly. Most restaurants manage from the rearview mirror. They wait for the end-of-month profit and loss statement, then discover that labor ran high, food costs drifted upward, cash is tight, or discounts quietly leaked revenue. Even worse, separate systems can tell completely different stories. The POS says one thing, inventory says another. Payroll adds a third version, and accounting gets the mess at the end of the month. Cash basis reporting can show liquidity, but may hide obligations. Accrual reporting gives a truer profit picture, but only when inventory, payables, and payroll are handled with discipline. So the old approach is not just slow, it can be actively misleading. By the time you spot the bleeding, your cash flow may already be gone. This is the profitable but broke trap, and it is one of the most dangerous illusions in the restaurant business. The next step is building a report stack that connects daily activity directly to financial outcomes. The solution requires a paradigm shift from reactive to proactive management. Instead of disconnected monthly reports, successful operators build what we call an integrated financial command center. Start with the P&L, because it shows whether sales are actually turning into profit after food, beverage, labor, operating costs, and occupancy. But do not stop there. The balance sheet prevents the classic profitable but broke disaster by revealing the full picture of cash, inventory, payables, taxes, debt, and equity. The cash flow statement explains where money actually moved, while a rolling weekly cash forecast turns that into a forward-looking runway. Then the operational reports bring the story closer to the floor. Daily sales, discounts, voids, refunds, payment types, inventory movement, COGS variance, and labor by role and shift. Each layer builds on a foundation of clean master data and disciplined reconciliation procedures. Technology can automate much of this, but it only works when the data and close discipline underneath are airtight. When you drill into these reports, specific KPIs emerge as the true lifeblood of the operation. The absolute undisputed king is prime cost. By combining your cost of goods sold for food and beverage with your total labor costs, you get the fastest and most complete health check available, with most operators targeting a range near 60 to 65% of total sales, though concept and wage model both matter. Food cost and beverage cost reveal whether purchasing, recipes, portions, waste, and vendor prices are under control. Labor cost must be paired with sales per labor hour, overtime tracking, and schedule adherence so staffing actually follows demand without harming service quality. Then come profitability and throughput metrics, gross margin, net margin, average check, revenue per cover, revenue per seat, and table turns. Finally, resilience metrics, days cash on hand, current ratio, and debt coverage, tell you whether the business can survive a slow week. An item-level contribution margin gives you atomic control over menu profitability, helping you identify your stars and eliminate your drag. These KPIs transform accounting data into real operational decisions. The implications of this framework are powerful and immediate. Once the right numbers are visible at the right time, the restaurant can act faster and more precisely. If food cost rises, managers can check vendor prices, portion sizes, recipe accuracy, waste logs, and potential theft, all before the problem compounds. If labor cost climbs, they can adjust scheduling by day part instead of cutting blindly and hurting service. If average check is flat, they can review menu mix, upselling behavior, and item contribution margin. If cash is tight, they can manage payables by due date and forecast the next 13 weeks instead of hoping the bank balance holds. Clear ownership is essential here. Owners set the targets and review the full picture. General managers drive daily and weekly action. Chefs and bar leaders own recipe and purchasing discipline, and accounting owns coding, approvals, reconciliations, accruals, and close quality. But to make this sustainable, restaurants need both the right review cadence and connected technology to support it. The resolution is a fundamental shift in mindset. Restaurant financial reporting is moving from reactive bookkeeping to proactive management. The best operators do not wait until month end to learn what the business already suffered. They review sales and labor daily to correct the shift, not the month. They run prime cost signals and cash forecasts weekly to catch issues early. They finalize full financial statements monthly and revalidate pricing, vendor terms, staffing models, capital needs, and debt coverage quarterly. Technology accelerates all of this by linking POS inventory, purchasing, scheduling, payroll, accounting, and business intelligence dashboards into a single connected ecosystem. Automation reduces manual errors, updates recipe costs the moment vendor prices change, and flags variance before it becomes a crisis. AI forecasting tools can use historical sales patterns, weather data, local events, and seasonality to recommend ordering and staffing scenarios before each shift. But the real lesson remains. Technology only amplifies results when the underlying data, ownership structures, and close discipline are genuinely clean. So here's the bottom line. Restaurant profitability depends entirely on timely visibility into the numbers that matter most. Start with a clean foundation, a P&L that shows every line as a percentage of sales, a balance sheet that prevents the profitable but broke trap, a cash flow statement, a daily sales summary, inventory and COGS reporting, labor analysis, and a concise KPI dashboard that reconciles it all into one clear story. Focus obsessively on prime cost, your 60 to 65% benchmark that captures food, beverage, and labor, the largest controllable costs in the business. Review sales daily, cost trends weekly, and full financial statements monthly. Then use those numbers to make faster, smarter decisions about pricing, staffing, purchasing, menu design, and cash planning. Integrate your POS, inventory, payroll, and accounting systems so the data flows cleanly and automatically. And remember, this is not accounting for its own sake. It is a repeatable decision system that helps restaurants protect margin, strengthen cash flow, and build the long-term resilience needed to survive slow weeks, seize opportunities, and grow with confidence. Like and subscribe for more helpful videos like this. Connect with Forks for the experienced accounting professionals your restaurant needs. Details in description below.